Next time you step outside, take a slow look around. Study the men in their 60s, 70s, and beyond. What do you notice? A wave of defeat. Men who have swallowed the cultural lie that growing older means growing invisible. Men who are shrinking, physically and spiritually. But occasionally, you spot something different. A man with gray hair and the bearing of a soldier. A man who doesn't merely avoid being overweight, but carries himself like an athlete. Research indicates that fewer than 12% of men past 60 maintain real, functional physical capability. Why is that number so small? Not genetics, not fortune. It is because 88% of men walk straight into a trap. When they decide to change, they reach for methods built for 25-year-old bodies, and those methods destroy them. Today, we dismantle the fiction. We will break down why conventional gym wisdom is grinding your joints to dust, the biological truth behind recovery, and the precise roadmap to rebuild a powerful body after 60. This is not about sculpting a bodybuilder's physique. It is about moving like a hunter rather than hunted. Open the manual. Diagnose the failure. Why do so many older men begin training only to abandon it 3 weeks in? First, a fundamental misreading of biology. Once you cross 60, your body aggressively strips away type 2 fast-twitch muscle fibers. These are the fibers responsible for explosive speed and the reflex that keeps you from hitting the ground. Neglect them, and they disappear permanently. Second, chasing the wrong target. Most men enter the gym trying to reconstruct the body they had at 25. They pursue vanity, peaked biceps, and carved abs. The sovereign senior chases functional dominance. He trains so he never requires assistance, hauling luggage, forcing open a door, or rising from a chair. Third, dangerous advice. Following a 6-day, high-volume program designed by a 30-year-old social media personality is a guaranteed path to joint destruction. Your tendons and cartilage can no longer absorb the mechanical punishment of heavy ego lifting. Stop training for applause. Start training for survival. Section 2. Recovery is the actual training. This is the most difficult mental transition for men to accept. You believe progress is manufactured in the gym while you are gasping and sweating. Wrong. The gym is where you inflict controlled damage. You tear the muscle fibers apart. Stay too long, and you are only deepening the wound. Growth happens exclusively during recovery. At 30, your body could repair from an intense squat session within 48 hours. At 65, your central nervous system and connective tissue may demand 72 to 96 hours to fully rebuild and grow stronger. Train intensely every single day, and your body drowns in cortisol, the stress hormone. Cortisol is aggressively catabolic. It consumes muscle tissue for fuel. You must begin viewing sleep and rest days not as laziness or weakness, but as the actual construction window. Honor the pause. Section 3. The nutritional threshold. You can execute perfect training and still build nothing if you withhold the raw materials. Older men face a biological condition known as anabolic resistance. Your body becomes stubborn and inefficient at pulling amino acids from food and converting them into new muscle. A 20-year-old can trigger muscle synthesis with 15 grams of protein. You cannot operate on those terms. If you scatter small amounts of protein across your day, you never generate a powerful enough signal to initiate building. You must breach the leucine threshold. A concentrated, substantial hit of high-quality protein in a single sitting is required. A minimum of 35 to 40 grams per meal to punch through the anabolic resistance and compel your body to manufacture new tissue. Eggs, red meat, fish, premium whey. Stop picking at your food like a sparrow if your intention is to carry yourself like a lion. Section 4. The intelligent blueprint. Quality over volume. The 12% of men who remain athletic do not inhabit the gym. They are precise. They concentrate on compound, functional movements. Isolation exercises like tricep kickbacks produce no significant hormonal response and train nothing related to balance. You must train movements that replicate real life. The trap bar deadlift, gentler on the lumbar spine than a conventional barbell, constructs total body explosive power from the ground up. The farmer's carry, gripping heavy loads and walking, forges a bulletproof core, a crushing grip, and serious cardiovascular capacity. The 45-minute rule: enter, stimulate the muscle, exit. Beyond 45 minutes of genuine intensity, testosterone begins to fall and cortisol surges. Extended marathon sessions are working against you. 3 days each week of sharp, focused compound training will deliver results that 6 days of unfocused machine work cannot approach. Section 5. The myth of maximum effort. The 2-rep reserve. This principle separates the men who stay athletic from the men who get injured. No pain, no gain is a destructive lie that has broken countless senior men. Training to absolute failure, where movement becomes impossible, inflicts severe damage on the central nervous system and joint structures. The objective of training is not to crawl out of the gym barely functional. The objective is to walk out feeling sharper than when you arrived. Master the reps in reserve protocol. If you are mid-set and your honest assessment is that you can reach 10 repetitions before collapse, terminate the set at 8. 2 reps remain in reserve. This delivers 90% of the muscle-building signal while eliminating the systemic fatigue and structural joint damage that accumulates during those final, ugly, form-collapsing repetitions. Train to stimulate, never to annihilate. Here is the action plan to enter the 12%. Step 1. Calculate your protein. Take half your body weight in pounds. That figure is your daily protein minimum in grams, distributed across 3 or 4 substantial meals. Step 2. Stop training to failure. Always preserve 1 or 2 reps in reserve. Step 3. Master a single major compound movement, the trap bar deadlift or the goblet squat. Step 4. Protect 8 hours of sleep as your highest priority, above everything else. Why does any of this matter? Because the mission of building an athletic body at 60 is not to pass as a 30-year-old. The mission is to function, perform, and command more authority than 90% of men who actually are 30. Women and the world at large do not measure an older man by the diameter of his arms. They measure him by his presence. An athletic body silently communicates something profound, that you respect yourself enough to refuse decline. It announces, I have not surrendered. I remain capable. I am still a force. That physical sovereignty becomes emotional independence. No one carries your weight. No one fights your wars. You are the patriarch. The iron is waiting. Pick it up and reclaim what is yours. If you are ready to step into the forge, hit the like button. Subscribe for more blueprints to the sovereign life. Case closed.